This is what we learned from each team in NFL Week 7. Alrighty, the first team I got up is the Los Angeles Rams. My takeaway for them is they're one of the best teams in the NFC. They just proved it against the Jaguars. I think this game said a lot about the Jaguars, but I think it said a lot more about the Rams and how good they really are defensively. They've had two very good games back to back. And again, obviously last game was against the Ravens, but still this defense has proved they are elite. We obviously know how good this offense is with Puka, Stafford, Devontae Adams, Kyron. I mean, it's an elite offense. This is an elite team that is one of the best in the NFC. Alrighty, next team up, my Cincinnati Bengals. It's the first time I've been this excited to do my Bengals. And my takeaway for them is they have life. They have life with Joe Flacco. That is my takeaway. We saw a glimpse of it against the Packers, and then, of course, this game we really saw it. But there is life. There is life. Joe Flacco obviously showed out, balled out, and the Bengals have a chance with Joe Flacco to survive. Alrighty, my next team up has got to be the New Orleans Saints. I don't have a huge takeaway for them. My takeaway is they're trying. They're trying, which sounds funny, sounds like troll, but they are trying. They're just, they're not winning these games, but they're not playing like awful football. They're just not winning games. They're trying, with the best, with what they have, Saints, they're trying their best. Alrighty, next team up, Jacksonville Jaguars. This was a rough week for Jaguars, and a rough, last couple weeks here for the Jaguars. My takeaway for them is this team got to figure some things out. I mean, they looked like a mess against the Rams. Offensively was not that great. Defense, I mean, it was an atrocious game for them. And, this is two games in a row where they have most definitely struggled, to say the least. And, it's just odd coming off that big win against the Chiefs. Ever since then, it's just been a drop-off for them. So, Jaguars got some stuff to figure out. Alrighty, Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, it's amazing with this team how some weeks I say, oh yeah, this defense it's starting to go back to Steelers football, defensive a defensive team that wins them the games. And now this week, this defense looked like it needs to be fixed. I mean, you got a ton of money into this defense, and it did not look good at all. Of course, it was against my Bengals, and they torched them. There's no other way to put it. And this defense needs to be fixed. Something's got to get figured out. I don't know. Something's got to get figured out. Chicago Bears. My main takeaway for them is keep feeding DeAndre Swift. Keep feeding him. I know, of course, this was, you're going against the Saints. But this is two games in a row where I feel like DeAndre Swift has honestly carried this offense. Rather than just putting it all on Caleb Williams and all that, give the ball to Swift. Let him do his thing. And, it's turned out very well for them. And I think they need to feed Swift, and he needs to be how they run their offense. Miami Dolphins. Another rough one for the Dolphins. And, again, I think I said this last week, but my takeaway for them is Tua is not the answer in Miami. He is just not the guy. To be honest, I've never been a fan of him since he got drafted. I just never really saw what the Dolphins saw in him. I think he's a decent quarterback, but I don't think he's a Super Bowl playoff winning quarterback. Ultimately, Tua is not the answer. 3 interceptions, looked awful. I know the weather conditions were bad, but this is a bad look for Tua. He just keeps getting worse. New England Patriots. Man, I mean, this team's nuts. My takeaway for them is they're a threat in the AFC. And they just continue to show it week in, week out. Look very, very good against the Titans. And they are a threat in the AFC. Alrighty, next team up has got to be the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh my goodness, man. Cut that. Alrighty, next team up has got to be the Las Vegas Raiders, bro. I don't know. As a Raiders fan, I don't know how you stand it, man. It is hard to watch this team play a football game. I mean, it is awful. My takeaway for the Raiders is they looked awful. This team... It's looking awful. I got nothing. That's all I got. Next team up, Cleveland Browns. My takeaway is this defense is just proving that they are the best defense in the league. And again, I hate to say, division rival, but this is the best defense in the NFL. It is. They're great against the pass. They're great against the run. I mean, it doesn't matter. They are the best defense in the NFL. Alrighty, next team up is got to be the Tennessee Titans. My takeaway for them is their defense has fallen off. It has fallen off. I mean, it's amazing. The Titans last year had one of the better defenses in the NFL, and we've just slowly but surely seen them. They've had some decent games this year, but we've definitely seen them take quite the dip. They can't stop the pass as good. I mean, against the Patriots, Drake May was like 19 for 20, or he missed like 2 passes the whole game. Ramondre Stevenson rushed for like 88 yards. I mean, it was a bad game for the Titans defense, and they got some stuff to work on. Alrighty, Kansas City Chiefs. Man, I hate it. I hate to say it. I hate it, but the Chiefs may be the best team in the NFL again. They may just be. I know they played the Raiders this week, but it's just, you see how efficient they are, how good they look. And yeah, they are definitely back to being one of the best teams in the NFL. There's no other way to put it. Alrighty, Philadelphia Eagles. Takeaway for them is Hurts has heard enough. He has heard enough of the slander. He's heard enough of the trash talk. And he showed it. He showed it against the Vikings. Looked fantastic throwing the ball. I still think the Eagles need to get Saquon involved a little more. But as far as it goes, Hurts, he's heard enough. He's heard enough from all you guys. And he's definitely shown it. Alrighty, next team up is going to be the Carolina Panthers. Takeaway for them is they played the Jets. They played the Jets. I don't have a huge takeaway for them. They played a decent game. Nothing crazy offensively, nothing crazy defensively necessarily. No takeaway for them. Alrighty, next team up is the New York Giants. Man, that was a crushing game for Giants fans. I'm sure to watch that collapse the Giants had, but I think there's definitely something we got to just take a step back for a second and say, my takeaway for the Giants at least is this team's much improved. I mean, they just took one of the better teams in the NFL right down to the wire. And I think it's just amazing to see ever since Jackson Dart has gotten in there, how this team has changed, the energy. It's just been completely different. And they are a much improved team. That I think, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they have some life, and it's something to be excited about. Alrighty, Minnesota Vikings. My takeaway for them is they got to get back on track. I mean, they're on a little bit of a skid here. Of course, again, J.J. McCarthy's been out. Granted, when J.J. McCarthy was in, it wasn't really that great. But I think the Vikings just got to get back on track. This was not their best game, that's for sure. Especially, there's some questionable calls in this game as well. But either way, I still think the Vikings gotta be okay. But they got to get back going, back on track here. New York Jets. This team's a mess. This team is an absolute mess. I mean, they get a good opportunity against the Bengals defense next week. Maybe they can clean some things up. Obviously, I'm hoping they don't. I hope they look like a mess, just as they have been this whole season. But yeah, they're a mess. I mean, Justin Fields, he got benched. It was bad. It was bad. And the Jets are a mess. Alrighty, Denver Broncos. I mean, I love this word that I used in my takeaway for this team is this team showed grit. They showed grit. You know what I'm saying? They showed a lot of grit against the Jets or against the Giants, and that comeback was beautiful. And I think it's something that as a Broncos fan, maybe you're not so excited that they were losing for that long to the Giants, but the actual comeback and showing again that grit, I think will show up in the playoffs. Alrighty, Indianapolis Colts. Takeaway from them: this team's for real. This team's for real, and again, I believe me, I can't believe it. I'm shocked too that they are, but this team's legit. It is a legit team. They are definitely a playoff team, and I'm shocked. I am shocked to say the least, but this team is rolling. Already, next team up, Dallas Cowboys. My takeaway for them is this defense actually stepped up a little bit. Obviously, again, Jaden Daniels got hurt in this game. If you watch this game, he got hurt. But nonetheless, the Cowboys defense still played a very, very good game against Daniels when he was playing, as well as against Mariota. And I think it was very encouraging, if you're a Cowboys fan, to see, okay, this defense can actually step up and help this offense out a little bit. Arizona Cardinals. Oh my gosh, man. I would hate to be a Cardinals fan. And I think it's going so under the radar with this team. how they just keep losing these close games. Like every single game they play in, they pretty much keep it a close game, but they just continue to lose these games that they should be winning. And I believe they're like 2-4 now. And so that's my main takeaway is they got to start finishing these games. Or else it's got to be over quickly. And yeah, they got to fix that. Alrighty, next team up, Los Angeles Chargers. My takeaway for them is this defense needs to start improving. This defense is struggling, and they got to figure things out. I think they have the talent to be a good defense, but they got to help out the offense. I mean, Herbert threw for like 400 something yards, and it did not matter. The defense just could not hold up, and they've consistently throughout this year have struggled a little bit, and that's something that I think they got to work on. And similarly to the Chargers, my takeaway for the Commanders is this defense got torched again. This was another game, 2 games in a row where this defense has just struggled, and it really showed against the Cowboys. I mean, it just 44 allowed points. It's just unacceptable. They were able to pass. They were able to run. They could not stop it. And yeah, the Commanders, they got to work on that. Alrighty, next team up, Green Bay Packers. My takeaway for them is good teams find a way. They find a way to win these games. The Packers didn't do anything necessarily that great in this game, honestly. And they were losing for quite a portion of this game. And, they just found a way to win. And that's what good teams do. Atlanta Falcons, takeaway for them is this run defense needs some work. Their pass defense, fantastic. That's definitely not a problem. Pass defense continues to do well, but the run defense is definitely, I think, taking a dip because their secondary is so good. But yeah, their run defense has struggled quite a bit, and that's something, CMC was just running all over them on Sunday night. And so that's definitely something they got to go back to the drawing board, see what they need to fix. Alrighty, next team up, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. My takeaway for them is this team's good, but they're not great. They're not great, and I think that's just something down the line in the playoffs. I think we're going to see it. I think this team is a good team. They're obviously on the rise with Baker Mayfield, but I think when you look at them playing against the Lions, who are overall one of the best NFC teams, they struggled. And I think they still gave like a decent fight, but I just don't think they're that next level up, you know what I'm saying, in the NFC, in that, when it comes to playoffs, I think they will, be a team that can't really make a run because I think they're good, but they're not great. San Francisco 49ers, takeaway for this game, or takeaway for this team, I guess, is CMC. I mean, this dude, he literally carried them that whole game. I mean, obviously the defense played pretty well, but as far as offensively, CMC was their whole offense. Leading receiver, leading rusher. I mean, it was not even close. I think he had close to 200. He might have had 200 plus scrimmage yards. And it was the CMC show on Sunday night. Alrighty, Houston Texans, my takeaway for them is this offensive line it's gotta get fixed. I mean, it's gotta get fixed. CJ Stroud was just running for his life the whole night. He was getting hit. He was getting popped. It was bad. They had no run game. I mean, anytime they tried to run it, it pretty much got stuffed every time. And it all stems from that offensive line. And so that's something, Texans, you guys got to make some changes there. Alrighty, takeaway from the Detroit Lions is got to be they are one of the top teams in the NFL. Definitely one of the top teams in the NFC. They showed out against the Bucks. And they're a very good team defensively, offensively. One of the best in the NFL. And then final team up is got to be the Seattle Seahawks. My takeaway for them is this run defense looked fantastic. And they have looked fantastic throughout the whole season. That's the one thing I definitely took away from that Texans game is that run defense, that pass rush is what's, really the best part about this defense. Their secondary is but their run defense is fantastic. Alrighty, y'all, that is going to cap it off for the video. Again, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe. And without further ado, I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.